दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Gujarat Express Varanasi Station Netaji Bhavan.
If there was a movie title for this Gujarat innings, it would be Gone with the Gill, because once Shubman Gill got out, there was just this collapse. They fell off a cliff and things didn't go the way Gujarat would have liked them to. They've managed 180 in their 20 overs. Shubman Gill getting 60, Sai Sudharsan getting 56, Shardul Thakur picking up 2, Ravi Bishnoi picking up 2. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami, got Joyda and Rohan in the house. Rohan, in the com box we chatted, they were 103 at the 10-over point, and you said 220, 210
220 is what they should be looking
get.
at.
30 runs short from what we expected.
But having said that, they'll be happy that they've got here after, because I think on the 17th over, they're about 145. So to get here also, they'll be thinking, okay, yes, we should have maybe got to about 210, 10 wickets in hand at the halfway stage. But then there was that collapse, run rate also only 6.4 in that 11 to 15 stage. So they did decently well in the last 5 overs, going at a run rate of 9, lost 3 wickets. So they'll be, well, overall I think they'll be a little disappointed they didn't cross 200. But they'll say, okay, listen, you know, we've got something to defend right now.
You know, Joyda, it felt like they were playing on 2 different pitches, because when Sai Sudarshan and Gill were playing, it looked like everything was coming onto the bat. And once Gill got out, Sai Sudarshan followed very soon, and then it just felt like they moved the pitch.
So, absolutely, and the variety of reasons. One is the fact that the ball did get softer, obviously. And the second is that the fact that it just... anyone who's in this pitch has a chance of scoring runs. And immediately the new batter comes in, his ability to be able to time it, change, the ball is not quite coming on, therefore, is not coming onto the bat. So, now the problem in the 2020 format is you don't have the time to try and adjust, which is why you'll see a lot of miss hits going straight up in the air, couple of dropped catches as well. But that happens because they are forced to push the pace very... And I think sometimes in these conditions, if somebody is sensible enough to say, okay, take another 3-4 balls, relax, take another 3-4 balls, adjust yourself, you'll take toll of this later. But the pressure of scoring runs is so strong, and especially if you've had a good start, everyone's saying, there are 8 batsmen sitting outside, why you doing tuk-tuk out here? So that's the problem that happens, and that's why you look at that scorecard. 2 of 3, after that Shah Rukh Khan comes, just swings at it, Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan, nobody else quite gets going. Even Joss Butler doesn't really get going. 14 balls, 16 is not really going by his standards. So I think that's the problem, that they're trying to hit too early. And you can only take toll in this pitch, I believe, if you stick around for enough time.
I just want to say one thing. I'm so happy you brought out a colloquial term.
Tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk. Why are you doing tuk-tuk out here? Hey, warm the cockles of my heart when you said tuk-tuk.
Yeah, we exchanged that smile because you just brought out all the gully cricket. Me at least, of
same,
course,
same,
for him
same,
otherwise.
same.
But they were going tuk-tuk, like you said.
Yeah, they went tuk-tuk. And they should have done more tuk-tuk before they dim, whatever.
So what happened was, initially they weren't in that tuk-tuks. And then they went into the Maybachs.
Yeah,
well, someone who came in that Maybach was Sai Sudarshan and Gill, because they just took off. They took their time to start, but that partnership, 120 of 73, just vintage. When Shubman Gill bats, you want to just sit back, have some popcorn and watch him, because it's just such a treat to watch him bat.
Like we spoke about this in the com boxes, the fact that these two like batting with each other. It's the 24th time that they've batted together, and 12 times they've got a 50-run partnership, which is stunning. The fact that your success rate is 1 every other innings as a pair in the T20 format. That's amazing.
Yes.
So
big number.
Yeah, big number. So I think they obviously have a good understanding, good chemistry. And as we said in the com box, that sometimes you're batting with a partner, you feel comfortable. Just running between the wickets. You also have that understanding, okay, he's aggressive right now, so I need to just try and give him the strike. Or you have that faith where you say, okay, listen, you know what? Why don't you face this bowler a little bit more? I'll face him a little bit less. There's no you're not worried about communicating with your partner. I think they have that.
There's a chemistry that Kajol and Shah Rukh have. They don't really have to say anything, but they have that chemistry going. Both these Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan, very few dot balls because they played very safe cricket. This is something we chatted about in the combo.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. I just want to go that no strokes that looked risky at all, and still they were scoring at 10 and over. Nothing. They weren't taking any risks. They were creaming the occasional four. They were, moving the ball around. The way they played it, it was like fabulous, and that gives you such a platform. I mean, think about it. Yeah, you're scoring at about 120 odd. You've scored at 10 a ball at 6 an over at 10 and over. So it sets you up so beautifully, and therefore I think they'll be cursing themselves that kind of a start on this surface they got without taking any risks, and I think they frittered away that advantage, definitely. I mean, they made up a little bit of it, but yeah, they are, I mean, if you see on the balance, they're still 20 odd short at.
Yeah, but I think LSG will take something out of this batting performance, how to bat.
You're absolutely.
As, what did Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill do, which made them successful with ease compared to the batters that came later on, and what did they do? Now, this is something that the LSG team will be talking about in the dressing room, saying, look, listen, maybe just go straight. It's pretty similar to what KL Rahul told Tristan Stubbs at the Chinnaswamy in that partnership, Capitals versus RCB. Tristan Stubbs said that KL Rahul kept telling him, look, straight boundaries are shorter, just aim straight, whether it's spinner or fast bowler, forget, don't try and play the cross-batted shots. And again, this knowledge of the ground, which is transferred to your partner, the conditions. Same way, the team will be now thinking, okay, listen, this is Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill did this, we'll do more of this.
But just a word on Shubman Gill, because we've been wanting to see him and get those runs. He's his second 50 in this season. We're used to seeing him score big, so these runs will be very important to his confidence.
Very important, but again, I mean, his 60 runs are great, but that's the thing. With Shubman, you expect him to now go on even to do bigger things, you expect daddy, runs for him, because remember, he's one of three people in the history of the IPL who've scored over 800 runs. I mean, there's just him, Joss Butler and Virat Kohli. I mean, that's the only people who've done it. So he's capable of that massive, massive total. And I think after that, he's been getting the 450s, the 460 odd runs. But again, what Gujarat need from him is those big, really big ones. Because remember, I mean, they really need him to score big, because it's not that their middle order is particularly strong. It's that top three that gives them everything they have. And I think he also, I mean, already 2 of those 5 batters are there among the orange cap holders. I think Shubman also will be there today. And so that's what they'll want to say, that, okay, get our top 3 to get more runs for us.
Well, Sai Sudarshan is leading that orange cap leaderboard, but there is that Nikki P who's just sitting there and saying, 1 second, wait, hang on, I'm chasing this down. But just Sai Sudarshan up there, consistently getting those runs once again.
It's something that Joy spoke about in the pre-match show, that he has the ability and the qualities to be an all-format player. The ability to just sort of, assess the situation, assess the pitch, assess the conditions, and bat accordingly. And have the shots to bat accordingly. Also have the shots to bat according to what the pitch is. If you need to sweep, you need to drive, you need to use your feet, you need to play on the back foot, have those shots as well. So, again, just made it look very easy. Again, there are certain batters who, when you look at them bat, you think, oh, batting's an easy job. And he's one of them.
Yeah, true. So
well, there's someone who also makes bowling look very easy. I want to have a look at that bowling card and get to talking about what the Lord has done today. He's picked up 2 wickets, given away 34 runs. But Joyda, 11 wickets that he's picked up, 4 of those wickets have come off full tosses. There's nobody who does this, but this is what Lord Shardul Thakur does. He just manages to pick up those wickets.
They used to be, actually full tosses are what leg spinners used to get a lot of wickets.
Hirvani told me. Hirvani told me this one, because Hirvani, the year I made my, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, absolutely.
The year I made my debut for Bengal, my first year for Bengal was also the year that Hirvani had moved from Madhya Pradesh to Bengal. And in one of the games, he told me, Chote, agar wicket is not coming, a batter said, bowl a full toss, keep a deep mid wicket there, because the batter sees it and he just wants to hit it. Yeah, it may go for 6, but there is a chance that he doesn't time it as well as he would have liked, and he'll hold out to mid wicket. So the full toss, while it is again a ball that gets hit, also gets you wickets.
Well, he was on a hat-trick once again. I think he's been on a hat-trick twice this
I
season.
think what, in the last over?
In the last over, he could have picked up, but the ball...
But also, I think he holds his shape. You know, the one thing about him is he's a competitor, okay? He doesn't look like a fast bowler. He doesn't look like this huge guy, but he's always had the ability to swing it both ways and always been that sort of the best man, but never the, you know, the star of the show. So he's
Never
always...
the groom.
Yeah, never the groom himself. And that's the thing. And he's got his opportunity here. Why? Because Mohsin Khan has been out of the tournament and he just grabbed it with both hands and it's fantastic. From there, and notice how many such stories you get in this tournament. Rajat Patidar, Lavneet Sasodia goes out, Rajat Patidar comes, okay? Dirk Nannes goes out, Chris Gill comes and smashes KKR for his first century. These, you know, because they come with they're hungry for that chance. And I think you can make out by Shardul, he is not going to let go of this opportunity now.
You know, you said he's grabbed it with both hands. He's not only grabbed this opportunity, but also that catch that he took of Joss Butler. He just seems to be doing everything correct, you know, when he talks about...
Lot things, as they say.
Yeah, a lot of things. Look, you know, okay, in this tournament, maybe we may not get a chance to see his skills with the bat. But I'll tell you what, for Mumbai over the last couple of years, he's bailed them out in the Ranji Trophy, so often batting at number 7, 8, 9. You know, getting big runs, 80s, 90s, 100s. Again, you know, with certain players, I'm not going to say use the word innocuous because he's not, but we look at them and think, okay, wow, he's not doing anything special. But their performances are special.
Yes.
Whether it's with the ball, with the bat, this catcher of Joss Butler, he has this ability of things happening when he's out there on the field, whether it's taking wickets, scoring runs, you know, influencing play. He has this ability to influence play, and that is a priceless ability to have.
But well, moving on to what Lucknow needs to do now, because that pitch was a little sticky, Joyita. We were chatting about this, 181 to chase and no Mitch Marsh. So who's opening for them?
That'll be interesting because see, if you look at it, Himmat Singh also opens. Because Abdul Samad is a natural lower order player and there's nobody else. I mean,
There's the talks of Rishabh Pant opening. Maybe he's not gotten things going. Would we like to see that happen today?
I wouldn't mind Rishabh Pant opening because it's a good time for him to make a statement. See, that again, opening is a one advantage is that it's a, I mean, you have a chance to dictate the game. Whereas when you're coming in later, you're stuck in a situation where whoever's got out or not out or there's a particular score. Again, opening, the best is to open when you're playing the first innings, but even the second innings, opening is, I think, will give him more opportunities. And I think, I was just looking at him and he dropped one difficult catch in the field. But there is a certain brittleness, there is a certain nervous energy about him that is not, he's not as confident as he normally is. He needs just one innings under his belt, you know. And he's the kind of guy, he gets one innings, he'll be fine.
He's just not been his chirpy self like you're saying.
Yeah, he needs that one thing to, okay, I'm Rishabh Pant.
Yes.
You know, he's not Rishabh Pant at the moment. At least not the Rishabh Pant we know.
But the GD bowlers are going to be happy seeing there's no Mitch Marsh.
Yeah.
That's a big relief for sure.
Because look, you know, you before every game at any level, you look at the opposition and you'll pick out a few danger players. You'll say, okay, where batting's concerned, obviously, you know, Mitch Marsh, fabulous form, fabulous player, Nicky P. These two would be, you know, and Markram. Markram's been doing well. The top three would be, at this point in the LSG team, would be saying the danger players. Now, 33% of that danger players has gone. Now you're left with just, you know, in a sense, in-form players of Markram and Nicholas Pooran. So that's one massive headache that you have to worry less about. So look, it's definitely an advantage for Gujarat. But having said that, having spoken about Rishabh, this may be an opportunity for Rishabh now, enforced opportunity to come up the order, bat. He said he's wanted to open in T20s, maybe get runs. And that, from a bigger picture, from
might help him.
LSG's point of view, him opening, getting runs, and then maybe dropping back down the order again, probably from a bigger picture, that helps them.
Helps him with the captaincy as well, right? Because the confidence of the bat will rub off onto his captaincy. So
No, I think they need him to make a sustained run. Those top three, they need him to really do well. Yeah, and apparently he's come out to open, so great.
Yeah.
At least we called it right. I mean,
They were watching the
Yeah.
show. That's what
Yeah.
happens in that mid-match. No, they sit and watch Cricbuzz live and listen to what you're
Exactly,
saying.
exactly.
That's what happens. So he's come out and he will want to grab the opportunity with both hands. But we have to.
They're probably the only people, because neither my wife nor my kids nor anyone else that I know ever listens to what I have to say. So they're probably the only ones.
Well, for Lucknow's sake, they'll be happy that at least Rishabh Pant is listening with both his ears and he's going to grab the opportunity with both his hands. And now we use both our hands and applaud for two winners.
oh, well done. Saiyami, well done.
I have only one thing to say. I have only one thing to say. You started the show off with saying, if this was a movie, it would be Gone with the Gill. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I think you should get points just for that comeback. I think we should give him the prediction points for
Rhett
that.
Butler. Hey, you need a mustache, that's all. Otherwise he's got the rakish charm of Clark Gable. He just needs a mustache.
But in our break right now, when you're watching the game, Shirshendu, who's the boss of us here at Cricbuzz, said he's going to buy tickets when Rohan starts a stand-up show. So
I'd
we're
buy
waiting
tickets
on
as
that.
well. So
Yeah.
you will hear the announcement here on this show.
If I'm too lazy to do a stand-up, it'll be a sit-down show.
It could be a sit down.
I'm too lazy to do a
That is
stand-up.
All right, so we'll sit down and give our predictions. I think, Rohan, you go first.
I am going to go with, since Rishabh's opening, I'm going to go with 58.
Okay, I had 52 in mind. I'll go to 53. 53.
53, 58. I also wanted to be in the 50s, but we can't jam it
You
all
can.
there.
You can, it's fine, go for it.
53, 58, I'll go with 55.
Yellow. We're all in that range.
We're all in that range because we all want to be winners.
If Joy wins at 53, we all win.
Yeah. If I get a bullseye, you'll all win.
Yeah.
If you get a bullseye, also we'll all win.
Right.
Even if I get a bullseye,
All win.
All right, Rishabh opens at a strike rate of 162, so we will not change anything.
We'll stay with it.
We'll stay and we'll stay confident with the numbers we've given. We'll give you all the updates at the 10:00 point at the Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching. Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत लखनऊ जंक्शन
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Express, Varanasi Station, Netaji Bhavan.